What's going on, guys? Zerse here. Now, a subscriber by the name of Superteedee, I think that's how you pronounce it. He asked me to, well, he didn't actually ask, he suggested that somebody make a video talking about the blatant hypocrisy that was the Young Turks when they covered the Stephen Ray Rice situation, when like Ray Rice had knocked his fiance out and Ray Rice had said his comment. And even though it happened a little while ago, I do think it's still a very good topic of discussion. And the video itself isn't going to be specifically centered around the whole Ray Rice thing. It's going to be about women putting their hands on men and how men should respond to that. That's really what this whole video is going to be about. You know, and so that being said, here's what we're going to do, because it's not going to be like a typical response where they say something and I rebut it like that. I think what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at some of the clips that the Young Turks say, and that will open the door for this discussion to start. So let's start with the first of the 3 videos Superteedee showed me about the Young Turks talking about Stefan's response in the situation.
Sense of what Stephen A. Smith had to say about this case. He's, according to Business Insider, after saying that it is wrong for men to put their hands on women, ESPN host Stephen A. Smith goes on to say that he has always encouraged female members of his family to make sure we don't do anything to provoke wrong actions. Smith later says that women need to do their part in making sure that violence doesn't happen. Now let me give you a little more. I want to give you his exact quote as opposed to people paraphrasing what he had to say. On ESPN, he said the following: "We got to also make sure that you can do your part to do whatever you can to try to make sure it doesn't happen. We know they're wrong. We know they're criminals. We know they probably deserve to be in jail. In Ray Rice's case, he probably deserves more than a 2-game suspension, which we both acknowledged. But at the same time, we also have to make sure that we learn as much as we can about elements of provocation. We've got to do what we can to try to prevent the situation from happening in any way." I don't think that's broached enough, is all I'm saying.
And I don't think it will be after this, considering what happened.
Well, I don't understand what he's saying.
Now, see, listen here. I'm not going to lie. When I first watched this video, I thought that the Young Turks were just being very obnoxious. Because they are. They're quite the obnoxious group of adults. But as I watched the video more and more, I began to realize they really didn't fucking understand what Stephen was saying. Like, that wasn't an act. They really didn't understand the context of that quote. And that shit blew my mind. I'm like, how in the fuck? There's 4 adults, and you guys don't understand that Stephen is simply saying, do not provoke a man to hit you. Even though we all know it's wrong for a man to hit a woman, women should not provoke men to do it. It's not rocket science. That's pretty fucking simple.
Like, I've heard people say, hey, you know what, don't walk down a dark alley, and don't be alone at night, don't wear a short skirt. All these things that some will say is blaming the victim in cases of rape, and others will say, no, I'm just telling, like, if it was my daughter, I wouldn't walking down a dark alley at night. It doesn't justify the guy who did it, but I just want to protect her. In the case of domestic violence, I've literally never heard it. I mean, how do you provoke domestic violence?
Really? Really? How do you... Huh. Wow. That was asinine. Apparently, he's never dealt with a woman before. There are lots of things that women do that get under men's skin. Okay, and of course what Stephen was saying was that women need to do their fucking part and not provoke. It's pretty fucking straightforward. I don't even understand why I have to break that shit down, but even still, okay, I'll talk about me personally. Now honestly, I don't think a man should ever put his hands on a woman. That doesn't mean there's no reason to do it. It just means you shouldn't. However, my ex-girlfriend, like, pissed me off to just new levels. Like, I didn't even know I could get as angry as I had gotten until I met that girl. And I had already had to deal with some pretty fucking bullshitty ass people prior to her anyway. Which really is just a testament to the power that women have over men, or at least the power she had over me. And I remember one time, I legitimately, like, I literally balled my hand into a fist, and she was so fucking close to getting punched in the face that day. Like, she is so lucky that she did all her bullshit to me, because if it would have been anybody else with any lack of self-control, whap, right in the fucking face. I was so close to punching that girl dead square in the fucking face that day. Fucking hell. But the point that I'm making is that she did some shit that just pissed me off. Okay? And I'm not even one to get all that angry and all that upset anyway. At least not over like regular shit. At least I can attempt to talk it out with people, but even still. So yeah, I mean, women do some shitty things to men. It's not unreasonable to say women should be wary of their fucking behavior when dealing with men. That's not unreasonable. That makes all the sense in the world. That isn't to say that it's a woman's fault. Well, actually, if she's provoking the man, it is her fault, because to provoke someone by definition means literally to want to force them or to attempt to make them attack, or to provoke literally means to get a reaction, to get somebody to do something. So if by definition that's what provoking means, women shouldn't provoke men. That's not fucking rocket science.
There's not a dark alley in your house. Like, what is he saying? Shut up. Yeah. Don't talk back against your man. What is he saying? I don't even understand what he's saying.
He doesn't clarify that at all. I watched.
Does he really need to, Anna? You guys are fucking adults. Adults. As in, didn't you not go to college and get your fucking a degree in journalism? He doesn't need to clarify it. It's clear as fucking day. Man, oh my goodness, man. And these are the people who like to say that religion makes people dumb. Fucking hell.
But she said
ESPN
she hit him,
clip,
right?
She says that she hit him. I don't know if that was what he was referring to, but that's the thing. Stephen A. Smith doesn't clarify what he's referring to. And so I totally agree that any type of physical altercation is totally unacceptable, regardless of who does it, whether it's a man or a woman. But when it comes to men and women, there's obviously a little bit of a power imbalance. And what I mean by that is men are obviously stronger than women.
Wait, what? What did you say, Anna? What? There's a difference between men and women when it comes to physical strength? You misogynistic bastard, Anna. You are a misogynist, and you support domestic violence. Right? You support domestic violence. I can't believe you just said that. That there's a difference between men and women. What? Anna, oh my gosh, like I can't, you are like such like the worst feminist like fucking ever. Like everybody like fucking knows there's like no difference between men and women, especially when it comes to like physical strength. So like for you to make a statement like that, it's just like so misogynistic, and I can't even like believe it because you're like a woman. Enough of the social justice warrior bullshit aside. Duh. That's my response. Duh. Men have testosterone. Fucking hell.
Most cases, not all cases. So in this case, he knocked the shit out of her, right? And so if you use this story to make your point about how women are provoking domestic violence, you're using a really, really bad example.
The definition of provoke is deliberately make someone annoyed or angry. I think that's actually a fantastic fucking example of why women should not provoke, which means by definition incite violence. Come on. By definition, Anna, by definition, women should not provoke men. The word provoke means to deliberately anger someone. I don't even understand why that is a fucking shock, why that is a revelation. A child shouldn't provoke their parents to beat their ass. A fucking nature hiker shouldn't provoke a bear to attack them. I mean, dude, by definition, I'm not making this shit up. Fucking Google the word provoke. Wow.
You're talking about an NFL player.
Yeah.
Who's obviously bigger and stronger.
You know, and that is another reason why I fucking despise feminism. Because I get sick and tired of these women who always want to say, this is what men need to do. You need to be a man. man up. This is what masculinity looks like and all that bullshit. But if a 16-year-old boy makes a 10-minute video about what he finds attractive in a girl, oh, he hurt feelings. Oh, he hurt feelings. It's a shitstorm coming at him. Hopefully you guys know I'm talking about Nash Greer. And it pisses me off that women always want to make comments like this about men need to be better, have to be the bigger person, or men have to have all of these responsibilities, but at the same time, women need all of the rights, but none of that fucking responsibility, right? Because that situation never would have happened if the woman wasn't provoking him. Again, the word provoke means to deliberately anger or annoy. She did it on purpose. That's enough of repeating the definition of provoke, but even still, because if I were to say some shit that, you know, women need to be submissive and obedient, fuck, I'm a misogynist, I'm a conservative, yeah, I am a racist bastard somehow, even though I'm a fucking black guy and I'm Native American, whatever. If I say women need to be fucking women, oh, well, I'm just a horrible person. Oh, but if a woman says men need to be men need to be the bigger person, even though the woman provoked them and slapped them upside the fucking head, well, that's men's responsibility because you're bigger and stronger. But then at the same time, we hear this bullshit-ass narrative that men and women are equal. No difference between men and women, but men are physically stronger. That sounds like a fucking difference to me. So here's the next video where we'll briefly gloss over the fact that Stefan had to apologize, which I don't even think he should have had to apologize for that. That was a perfectly acceptable thing to say, or at least it should be, but of course you can't criticize women anymore. That's misogynistic. You don't do that. So let's listen.
Stephen A. Smith from ESPN has issued an apology after he did some commentary on the Ray Rice story and domestic violence. Now, for those of you who can remember, and I'm sure a lot of you do, he had made a statement about how women shouldn't provoke domestic violence, and then after he got some heat for it, he kind of failed to articulate exactly what he meant by that. Was he referring to women that talk back to men? Was he referring to women that hit men? It doesn't matter because now he has come out with his third apology, but this time it's an actual apology. Here's what he had to say. I ventured beyond the scope of our discussion by alluding to a woman's role in such heinous matters, going so far as to use the word provoke in my diatribe. My words came across that it is somehow a woman's fault. This is not my intent. It was not what I was trying to say, yet the failure to clearly articulate something different lies squarely on my shoulders.
Okay. Humanity.
Humanity. And the reason why I say that is because, I don't know, maybe I'm in a bubble, maybe I'm insulated from these types of men, and if I am insulated from these types of men, it's awesome and I'm grateful for it. But for some reason, people think that it's totally acceptable to retaliate and fight back with violence if, let's say, a woman or a smaller person does provoke them physically, right?
See, here's the thing that you feminists miss, that completely fucking glosses over you guys. And it's pretty simple. Men and women are equal. That's it. That's it. We hear this shit in our society over and over and over and over and over again. Men and women are equal. Right? This is why those men can say that. If you put men as leaders above women who are supposed to support them, you would never fucking hear anybody say that a man should be able to fight a woman. But when you say that they're equals, when you say both of them contribute to that situation and their living expenses and everything, if a woman puts her hands on a man, then the man should be able to retaliate. And think about this. Men know this. Men, we grow up in an environment. In fact, I read a study on this. It's instinctual. Men grow up in an environment where we have to be prepared to fight other men. Where we have to be prepared to fight them. Evolutionarily speaking, that's the environment we fucking grew up in. Men, even in high school, like, you know, going through fucking high school or walking down the hood, if you looked at somebody the wrong way, that's a fight. That's a fight. And we men, we know this. We know if we put our hands on another man, there's a chance he's gonna fucking fight back. He's gonna retaliate. Women don't learn this shit. Because women get taught that there's no reason to put your hands on a woman. So that's why you're confused, because you say there's no reason ever to hit a woman. But again, we're told men and women are equal. So this is why I know feminism is not about fucking equality, right? Because if it was, you feminists would all be saying, well, if a woman put her hands on a man, well, shit. Let's keep going.
Right. So let's say me, and I did a video on this on my personal YouTube channel, and I was still shocked to get the same reaction. I did the video with a guy who's literally 200 pounds. I'm 106 pounds, right? And I talked about how if we got into a physical altercation and I so-called provoked him, and let's say I like punched him in the gut or something, right? Should he fight back? And I was shocked to see that there were a number of men that thought, yes, if you punch someone, doesn't matter what your size is, doesn't matter how powerful you are or how weak you are, you deserve to get punched right back. And that is the most immature and cowardly response to something like that. Because as a man who weighs 200 pounds and who is obviously physically stronger than a woman, I think the manly thing to do and the mature thing to do is to push the woman away, get yourself out of the room, and make sure that she faces assault charges for what she did.
Yeah, but to even insinuate that maybe, now just maybe, the woman should have had some wisdom, to just imply that maybe the woman should have had mastery over her emotions, to say that she should have been a better person, that's misogynistic. But for you to say that the man should be the bigger person is perfectly fine. I say no. I say the woman needs to learn her place. And to say that, again, makes me sound like I'm some type of traditionalist or something like that. But let's be honest, guys. Let's be fucking honest. Women need to learn that they can't do that. That they cannot put their hands on men. And that there are fucking consequences for doing that. We keep telling women that there's no reason to hit them, and they feel like they're fucking Super Mario with the star power on them. Right? Now again, I don't think any man should put his hands on a woman. I really don't. You know? But that doesn't mean there's no reason to do it. I really don't think a man should fight a woman. And the reason why is that women are not worthy adversaries to face down. But at the same damn time, women need to understand that concept. That you should never put your hands on someone you know can hurt you. That's not logical. That doesn't make any sense. In fact, the reason why half these women even attack their boyfriends is because they don't think they're going to hit back. Because if they had the wisdom, knowing a 200-pound man is that much stronger than she is, she wouldn't do it. But because she thinks she's not going to get shit back, that's why she put her hands on her. Women aren't taught this shit. They're not taught that. And even then, even if you did try to put a woman on assault charges, she would have just gotten a slap on the wrist. Again, a couple of months ago, Sargon of Akkad put an excellent video of a woman who tried to kill a police officer and walked away scot-free. So apparently that whole assault charge thing ain't going to do much shit.
And by the way, as a man, if you fight back and you beat the shit out of her, what do you think is going to happen to you? The law is going to come down hard on you, and then what do you think the judge is going to say? You think the judge is going to be like, oh, well, this 106-pound woman provoked you, so I'm going to let it go. Yeah. No, it doesn't work that way. It's amazing how people want to justify fighting violence with violence, and I'm not saying that a woman should ever put her hands on a man, ever, under any circumstance. She should face the consequences by law. But you don't fight back as a physically stronger person because you can literally kill a woman with your bare hands if you're bigger than her.
And so let's think about that one for a second. If women know that a man can literally kill them with their bare hands, what kind of logical sense does it make to provoke that? If women understand that a man can kill them, why would you put your hands on somebody who can do that? Does that make any conceivable logical sense? The answer is no. Of course not. Of course it doesn't. Again, guys, I'm not saying a man should fight a woman, but wisdom, ladies, wisdom. Why would you put your hands on someone you know can kill you?
Depressed from the Stephen A. Smith story too. So Anna was talking about this to me off air, and then I looked into it more, and no, it's unbelievable. the majority of people, even our viewers, were upset at us for questioning Stephen A. Smith. And they're like, yeah, no. The idea that you shouldn't hit a woman if she's smaller than you, they find repulsive.
Yep.
They think, well, of course I should beat the shit out of her if she touched me, right? That's fair. That's fair.
Wow. Talk about a straw man, right? That's not what your viewers were saying. If you actually took some time and read the comments, you would understand what these people were saying. If men and women are equal, women need to accept the possibilities that a man is going to think they're equal too and knock them the fuck out. Alright? The police don't need to... See, listen. A lot of women don't understand this, but men, that's what men can do. Two men can say, hey, you got a problem? Yeah, I got a problem. Take it out in the back, fight it out. And then there's no more problem. The police don't need to be fucking involved. They fight it out, and if you get your ass whooped, well, that means you need to take your ass to the gym and fucking work out. So maybe the next time you get into an altercation, you might win. That's how shit used to be. You would square up, fight it out, and the problem would be solved. But that's not women, though. That's not women. Women don't think like that. Because women have a long-term memory. You know, women remember shit from fucking 2 years ago when you first met, how you didn't fucking invite her to go to Candyland or some shit like that. That's the nature of women. They don't forget, and they very rarely forgive. At least they very rarely forgive the right person, I guess I should say. But okay, again, I speak in generalities. I'm not saying I'm perfectly aware that this is not all women. I just speak in generalities because it's easier to do so. I hope you guys understand that. But even still, going on from that point, women don't know. They're not taught. They don't learn. They don't have this wisdom.
And then we say, okay, how about if it's a 13-year-old boy? How about if it's just somebody that's smaller than you? That yes, you can pummel if you wanted to, but you shouldn't out of decency. No, they don't agree.
Now again, I don't think that's what anybody was saying, but if some people were commenting that, then I agree with you. No, you should never beat the shit out of a woman or a child. You should never pummel them into oblivion. But I mean, at the same time, you know, it's a reflex. And again, I'm not justifying this. I'm not saying it's right, but it's reflexive. You know, if you live your entire life out in the hood and you get into fights with guys all the time over stupid shit, if a woman is provoking you, it's just reflexive. And I don't get mad at men like that because they don't want to do it. They're not doing it because they hate women, but it's because they get pushed to that level. And I understand that women can do some shitty things to guys. I don't understand why you don't get that concept. But women are not these perfect angels. Some women suck. There are good women who are fucking fantastic, and there are bitches. And a lot of bitches think that you should not put your hands on them. And really you shouldn't. We are stronger. But at the same time, that doesn't mean there's no reason to do it. I mean, there's reasons to rob a bank. That doesn't mean you do it. And you know, of course, I'm gonna hear you're a misogynist, blah blah blah. Even though I clearly fucking said you shouldn't. Even though I clearly said you shouldn't put your hands on a woman, I'm still gonna be a fucking misogynist somehow. Some feminist is gonna watch this video and still say I'm a fucking misogynist somehow. But whatever. Yeah, let's keep going. We're almost done.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm getting heated about it because it's just the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. If someone hit me, even if they were physically stronger than me, my reaction isn't going to be, okay, how am I going to beat the shit out of this person? My reaction is, how do I get myself out of this room and protect myself and ensure that I don't fight this violence with violence?
Actually, what you're going to find out, what Anna just said was a lie. I remember I actually saw a comment, and then there's actually a story on like one of the Young Turks is like after the show thing I'm not fucking paying money for. But there's actually a story of when some guy had like grabbed Anna's ass off the street. It was actually a 14-year-old boy, and she beat the shit out of this kid when he tried to grab her ass again. So, okay, so maybe I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. I will give her the benefit of the doubt. Maybe her position has changed since she beat that 14-year-old boy's butt. If it hasn't, she's a John Brown Gology fuck of a hypocrite. Because getting your ass slapped is not the same as getting punched in the face. Sorry. Fucking sorry. If you can do it, Anna, okay, so again, benefit of the doubt. Maybe Anna's position has changed since she attacked that 14-year-old boy for slapping her ass. So, If it hasn't, well then she's a hypocrite. So I mean, that's pretty much it. So I got one last thing to say, and then we're done. Because this video, I think it's running a little too long. One last thing to say, man. Listen, ladies, feminists, let's be honest with ourselves here. I'm getting sick and tired of this whole men need to be men. Okay? Because if men need to be men, women need to be women. It's that simple. It's a very simple concept. If you want men to be in those traditional roles, then women need to be in their traditional role. If you don't, then you cannot get upset at a man going his own way. You can't get mad at the MGTOWs. And at the same time, you can't get upset with a man who thinks that you should be able to hit a woman. Remember, men and women are equal. There is no difference between men and women. Oh, except that men are bigger and stronger. Then there's a difference, which clearly shows that you don't fucking think that. Because look, I'll be honest with you guys. I have no problem with not hitting a woman. I really don't. In fact, I prefer that I never hit a woman. I don't want to. I don't ever want to fight a woman. I really don't. There's no real reason to. Not for me. Again, I have the self-control to walk away. But at the same time, though, women need to be women. Women need to figure out what it is to be a fucking woman, because we don't have mothers to teach women that any fucking more. But and here's what it is. Like, let's be honest, okay? And I know I'm misogynistic, I'm conservative Christian, and I'm all traditional and blah, 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 blah. Go ahead, send me the bullshit. Let's be honest here. If you want me to protect you and to use my aggression and my force for your benefit, then you have to give up your subservience to me. Sorry, I said it. I know. I'm a misogynist. I know. But let's be honest. If you want me to be a man, I will be a man. But you have to be a woman. So if I give you my protection, my aggression, to you, my security, I work to get money for you, you have to be submissive to me. That's it. Yin yang. Yin, yin yang. You gotta let it flow. And of course you don't want that to happen. So since that's what you fight against, if men and women are equal, we're on the same level. Well, if you put your hands on me, I can put my hands on you. You have to make up your mind across the board. Either men have to be men and women have to be women, or we're in this whole ambiguous bullshitty thing all over the place, and there's no way you can get mad if a man fights a woman. Because remember, feminists, men and women are equal. Except, not really. That being said, Superteedee, hopefully I gave you what you were looking for. I hope I, responded the way you wanted me to respond. And, with that, I hope everyone else enjoyed today's video. I think it ran a little too long, but what was said needed to be said. With that being said, I certainly hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and if you did, go ahead and click the like button. Go ahead and click that subscribe button. Comment in the comment box below, and as always, have a great day. I'll see you cool cats soon. Adios.